owe it to God to stay sober. Like I've said so many times on this channel before, especially recently, I've smoked weed for 17 years. I'm recently 6 months sober and I'm not looking back. There's no way I'm looking back. When I say you owe it to God to stay sober, I literally mean you were made perfect. You were designed perfect. You were designed with all the tools and mental faculties and spiritual faculties that you need to succeed on this planet. You were born perfect. You were born absolutely perfect. You have everything it takes, and you have a destiny laid out in front of you. And smoking and drinking and doing all this bullshit only hinders your growth. Listen, when I grew up, I absolutely loved professional wrestling. Couldn't tell you why. I was just enamored by it. I think the first time I watched wrestling, I was probably 7 years old. And since day one, I knew it was a show. No one had to tell me it was a show. I think the first wrestler I ever saw was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it wasn't even a wrestling match. My cousin had put it on TV and Austin came out. He was talking all this trash. He had that energy, you know what I mean? He just came out there and he was running his mouth. He had that energy. Not too long after that, The Rock. I saw The Rock and I was like, damn, another dude. He just had that energy. He had that aura. He had everything it took to be that guy, and I felt it, you know what I mean? This was around like 97, 98, but I want to say around 99, 2000, I got crazy into Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was my dude. Jeff Hardy was my guy. Jumping off shit, he had that different style, he dressed differently, he had the aura, but he didn't have the same style as everyone else. You know what I mean? Everyone had the same style, punching and kicking, that brawler style. Jeff Hardy was different. He was bouncing off the ropes different. He was flying off the ropes different. Everything he did was different, and it showed. See, the thing I love about wrestling, there's guys in pro wrestling who are given a spot. They're given a spot because they look a certain way, they feel a type of way on screen. They got a certain energy that people backstage see in them, and they put them in certain positions because that's the guy. That's going to be our top guy for the next 5 years. So there's guys put into that top spot, but then there's other guys who are just undeniable. They're not guys that are considered to be a top pro wrestler because they don't have a certain look that's been traditional. They don't have a certain style that's been traditional, but they are undeniable. The fans just gravitate towards them. The fans just love their energy so much that they don't have a choice but to put them in main events to please the crowd because that's what it's all about in the end, you know? Jeff Hardy was that guy. And through the years, after being in top spot after top spot and gaining the trust of multiple main eventers, he became champion. He was just that guy, you know what I mean? What Jeff Hardy taught me about sobriety is that in order for you to reach the peak of your destiny, the peak of your life, the peak of your career, the peak of your accomplishments, you have to stay sober. And this is not a judgment on the man. I don't judge the dude. He's in a great place now. I've seen recent videos of him, and I'm no man to judge. Like I said, I smoked weed for 17 years. I know what it's like when you let certain things take control of you. And I don't know the exact details of his drug abuse. I don't know how deep it went. I don't even know what he took. But all I knew is once he became champion, he got in trouble with the law a bit. He got in trouble with drug use a bit. He got suspended. He got arrested. Like different things like this happened. And it slowed his progress. Everything that he was clearly meant to be in life, the champion, the top performer, he earned that himself. He earned every single thing himself. And I don't know if it was because of the pressure. I don't know if the drugs took control. I don't know what it is, but it ruined his trajectory. And he still had a legendary career, no doubt. He's still a legend. But I'm saying, what if the man never did drugs? How much further would that career have been? How much further would he have taken himself in that business? So that's what Jeff taught me about sobriety. And unfortunately, his case had to be a lead by example case. I'm not going to get into the depths of how bad it got because we're all just human and we're here doing our best. And sometimes we get carried away. Sometimes we got repressed emotions. Sometimes we got trauma. Who knows how the man grew up? Who knows how he's able to express himself? That's between him and that's between God. But what the man taught me is Stay sober to achieve the peak of your destiny. Stay sober to stay on that trajectory. I know, like, the pressure of life gets hard sometimes. And I've heard other performers and actors and musicians say, like, man, the pressure was just so much. I was so nervous. I had to drink and smoke a little bit before I went on stage. Like, you don't need this shit. You don't need to numb yourself out to live. In order for you to be the man or woman that God made you to be, you have to stay sober. You owe it to God to stay sober. That's you showing God and showing the universe that you are thankful for the way you were made. That's showing God and the universe that you know that you were given everything that you need to succeed. And through my 17 years of smoking nonstop, day and night and day, nonstop smoking, what I've learned is I can't numb out any feeling. I can't numb out the pain of my progress in life. I've also learned I can't smoke myself into creative zones. It doesn't make me more creative. Whatever creativity has funneled through my body, whatever creativity has came through me, that comes from God. That was given to me since I was a child. That was given to you since you were a child. Whatever talent you have, whatever skill you have, whatever dream you have was given to you since you were a child. You don't need any kind of drug to enhance that. You don't need any kind of smoke to enhance that. You don't need any kind of drink to enhance that. And listen, I'm not talking about time to time users. If you can control your substances, if you can have something once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times a year and you can handle it, do what you got to do. I'm talking for the people who have trouble on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis with substances. I literally went from a point where I had to smoke to watch a movie. I had to smoke to listen to music. I had to smoke to work out because it made everything better. It made everything feel better. I had to smoke before I had sex because it made sex feel better. You don't need any of these things. Everything God has made you feel in this present moment, everything you feel in this present moment is God telling you that you are perfectly made. It's the Most High telling you that you are perfectly made. As a matter of fact, the Most High is called the Most High because that's the most high you can get. It's literally the most high you can get. Tuning into God is the most high you can get. So someone like Jeff Hardy, someone like Eddie Guerrero, all these wrestlers that I looked up to that got too into drugs, too into substances, they paid the price for it. These are kind of like heroes to me who I looked up to. And yes, they still became great, but the substance abuse hindered their progress and in some cases cost them their life, shortened their life dramatically. I don't want to shorten my life. I don't want to shorten my career. I don't want to shorten my trajectory. You shouldn't want to do that either. You should actually appreciate the body you've been given, the perfect health you've been given, the perfect mindset you've been given, the ability to tap into spirituality that you've been given. I've said before, I have Rastafarianism in my family. I got Rastas in my family, people who smoke for spirituality, and I looked up to these people a bit. But what I'm realizing is when I come back to myself, when I'm in my quiet states, when I'm meditating, when I'm out in nature, when I'm deep breathing, this is when I feel spiritual. I kind of believe that the reason why so many people smoke weed is because that's when they finally take a deep breath. There are so many times throughout people's days that they don't even take deep breaths. They're always shallow breathing. They're always breathing in like a fraction of their lungs. And the only time they breathe deep, the only time they take a deep breath is when they're stressed or tired. They go, that big inhale to show some kind of stress. If you want to manage your stress, breathe deeper. If you want to quit smoking, breathe deeper. Learn to breathe into your lungs. That you're doing is your body craving a deep breath. And the only time you take that deep breath is when you turn to smoke. Like I said before, if you're one of those people where every time you have a smoke, every time you have a drink, your mind's saying this is going to be the last one. I'm going to quit this weekend. I'm going to stop after this. All these reoccurring thoughts, it's time for you to stop. Your spirit is calling out to you to stop. Your spirit is calling out to you to be sober so you can come back to self, so you can reconnect with the Most High. When you have these substances in your body, it's been proven It's been proven. You have a perfect aura around your body. And when you take in too many substances like this, you put holes in your aura. That leaves you susceptible to spirits entering in, whispering thoughts in your ears. If you want to talk spirituality, that leaves you susceptible to your energy leakage. That leaves you susceptible to losing your connection with the Most High. When you are sober, when you stay sober, the frequency between you and the Most High is transmitted perfectly. When you alter it by smoking or drinking recreationally, you are wrecking your creation. Literally. Listen to the words recreation. You are wrecking your creation. Your creation is perfect. You don't need to drink to have fun. You don't need to smoke to have fun. You don't need to smoke to be creative. You don't need to smoke to enjoy things more. It doesn't make the movie better. It doesn't make the music better. It doesn't make life better. Coming back to self, detoxing from all the dopamine in your life, the corn videos, all the girls, all the parties, all the cheap thrills of life, and coming back to self, staying with yourself alone, meditating, and then reconnecting with the things that you love, whether that's working out, going out in nature, being creative. That is the real cure for you. Coming back to self and enjoying things naturally as you did when you were a child. Because when you were a child, and listen, we're all children of the Most High. I'm going to say that. Each and every single one of us are children of the Most High. But when you were a child, you learned to have excitement and high energy in everything you did. And as you grow older and life becomes more mundane and you get worn out from work and you get worn out from school and you get worn out from the workplace, all this stuff, we all get beat up a little bit by life, okay? But that doesn't mean that you need to turn to substance to unwind. You need to turn to substance to relax. Turn to God to unwind. Turn to the Most High to unwind. Turn to yourself to unwind. Come back to self. Come back to nature. That's where the purity is. That's where the beauty of life lies. So when I say I learned sobriety and I learned how to be sober and why to be sober from someone like Jeff Hardy, it's because from the outside, like looking at him from the outside, every single one of us looked at that man coming up, and we all knew. It didn't matter what any of the management said. It didn't matter what any of the other wrestlers did. We looked at this guy and we knew this guy was cream of the crop. We knew he had that energy. We knew he had that aura. We knew he was next up. I think he knew he was next up, but he couldn't hold that top position. He couldn't stay at his peak because the drugs made him weak. Literally, he couldn't stay at his peak because the drugs made him weak. It made him who he's not meant to be. It threw him off his trajectory in life, his undeniable trajectory in life. He's still a great man to this day, yes, 100%. I give my honors to this dude for inspiring me to be creative, to be original, 100%. But it altered the state of his flow of life. And now, after 17 years, seeing this, witnessing this, reflecting on this, feeling my own journey and all the times I threw myself off my own course by indulging in weed, by indulging in partying, by indulging in sex, all these things. From the outside looking in, now it's time to stop. It's time to let go of those childish ways. It's time to let go of those foolish ways. And listen, if you have the same problem with drinking, with smoking, with any drugs, I encourage you the same. It's time for you to let go of those childish ways. Put it behind you. Put those childish ways behind you. You are altering your life path and trajectory. You are changing who you are meant to be in this world by indulging in smoke, by indulging in drinking, by indulging in partying. Look at AB and Dean the Great streaming right now. Look at this man. This man is drinking himself to death. This man has stated through his own mouth, I would like to fight again to be champion. How come I don't see it? You say it. You say you want to be a champion again. You say you want to fight again. How come I don't see you training? How come I don't see you trying to be that champion? You're not taking the frequency of a champion. You're not getting the respect that a champion should get. You are drinking yourself to an early grave. Once again, I'm not judging the man, but you speak words, but your actions are different. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. When you speak something spiritually, your goals and your dreams and your physical is doing something different. You're torn apart. You are changing your life trajectory. Your spirit wants to go this way, but your body's choosing these pleasures and these earthly things. Follow your spirit. Follow your joy. Follow that life path. That's where the greatness is. That's where your destiny is. All right? Peace, love, knowledge, and protection, you and yours. This is Takal Bay from Temple Alchemy, and I'm out.